One Chicago is just as popular as it has ever been. Besides Chicago Justice, which we don't talk about. The Chicago series has loads of fans who adore them, but they have a habit of losing some really big stars from their shows. They're not shy to let a character die, so let's check out who is in and who is out on Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. Chicago Med, who has been out? Let's start with the newest addition to the franchise. And when I say new, it doesn't really mean much since they're already in their 7th season too. Chicago Med at least doesn't lose that many characters to death, but they still rotate that fair share of main cast members. Plus, there are always supporting or recurring cast members that come and go. You would think that this is because a group of doctors is safer than most since they don't face as many dangers, but these doctors have sure had some dangers in their life. I'm surprised more haven't died yet. We have lost quite a number of our favorites throughout the years though, like Dr. Connor Rhodes, who was played by Colin Donnell. The character needed some time away after he went through a string of traumatic events, one of which was the death of Dr. Ava Becker, played by Norma Culling, another character that was obviously off the show. Then there was Dr. Sarah Reese, who won our hearts as the medical students that didn't believe that she should be working with people. But he turned out to be really great with patients. She decided to leave the hospital and transfer after Dr. Charles figured out her dad might have killed a bunch of people, and there are many other characters we have lost through the years too. But who has left recently? Most recently, we lost 2 of the original main cast members of the show after they decided to not renew their contracts. First, there was Yaya DaCosta, who played April Sexton, the nurse who is incredibly passionate and fiercely protective of her patients. She would do just about anything to help them and has long been frustrated when she couldn't do more. She got accepted into a nurse practitioner program and left to follow that dream. A pretty happy ending for a great character. Then we also lost Dr. Natalie Manning, who played Tori DeVito. Now, this could be a controversial opinion, but I never loved that character. Not as much as many people did. She was often doing whatever she felt was best, even against patient wishes at times, but when she was quick to lecture Halstead, or any other doctor if they did anything remotely in a gray area. Natalie was fired after she stole drugs from a trial to help her sick mom. Who is in? There are a number of familiar and new faces that are still in Chicago Med. New deals have ensured that some of our most beloved characters will be back, including Sharon Goodwin, Dr. Charles, Will Halstead, and Ethan Choi, among others. But they also recently introduced us to some new cast members, including the incredible Sarah Rafferty as Dr. Pamela Blake, and Kristen Hager, Guy Lockard, Michael Rady, and John M. Waus have all joined the show as new doctors at Med. We also have Dr. Blake's daughter as a new character, and she will be played by Avery Quinn. It is going to be interesting to see how the show changes with so many new faces. Who has left Chicago PD? For a police show where things can get pretty shady at times, they haven't had as many deaths as one might expect, but they have had many team members burn out or leave to join another department. In the 9 seasons that Chicago PD has been on, there have been a number of emotional goodbyes. One of the worst that immediately comes to mind has to be when Detective Alvin Alinsky was killed. He was Voight's best friend and pretty much family, so much so that he took the fall for the murder of the guy who murdered Voight's son, and then he was killed in prison. It was seriously heartbreaking, and Elias Koteas was just an incredible role. And another terrible loss was when John Ceda, who played Detective Antonio Dawson, left the show. Antonio was straight-laced as they come and many times was the one to keep Voight in check. So when he got hooked on drugs and killed a guy, it was pretty sad. He eventually got clean but decided that the pressures of the job were too much and he wanted to be with his family. And then, the first major loss for the intelligence unit was when Aaron transferred. Sophia Bush was a fan favorite from the start, and Aaron was the closest thing to a daughter Voight had. It was just sad. Which of the One Chicago series is your favorite? Is there any one of them that you don't watch? Let us know in the comments section. We'd love to hear your opinion. Next up, we'll check out who has left PD and who will be back. Plus, get all the details on Chicago Fire. Don't go anywhere. Who left recently? We were worried for a while that we would Marina Scorciati, since her character, Kim Burgess, was in a pretty bad spot. But she fought back and made it through and has since recovered. But this is PD, and we never know who can leave us in a surprise twist later on in the season. Who is in? For Chicago PD, the core cast from the last few seasons has all returned to the show, and there haven't been any major changes, but there have been a few new faces added to the series. 2 new recurring characters have been added. Amanda Payton will be playing Celeste Nichols, and Carmela Zimbardo will be taking on the role of Anna Avalos, who has left Chicago Fire. Now we get to the original show that stole our hearts, the one that started it all, Chicago Fire. They have never been shy to pull at our heartstrings and kill some of our favorite characters. I mean, this was a show that literally had a death in the first few minutes of the pilot. We can't exactly say that we were not warned. But besides that, this is also a group of first responders who put their lives on the line, and sometimes that can end badly. Our first major heartbreak came when a serial arsonist set a trap for first responders, and one of our favorites, paramedic Leslie Shea, died thanks to that. Lauren German was one of the original cast, and her character was really loved. Then after that, there were a few sad moments when some of our favorite characters decided to leave Chicago to follow pursuits elsewhere. One really terrible one was when Monica Raymond's Gabby Dawson left the show. Not only did she leave Casey heartbroken, but fans hated to see her go. It had been a while since any of the main characters were put in real danger, and I think many of us didn't really think they would kill a favorite, but we were wrong. One of the saddest moments in all of One Chicago had to have been when Yuri Sardarov left the series. His character, Otis, was hurt severely and died with his best friend Cruz by his side, who left recently. Since Otis died, the danger has felt more real each time any one of our favorites were stuck in a situation that they might not get out of. But luckily, they haven't killed any of the main cast members since then. But that doesn't mean that people don't sometimes leave. Adrian Ray, who played paramedic Gianna Mackey, didn't return to the show in season 10. But there was one season 10 departure that really hit us hard. One of the original firefighters, Captain Matt Casey, left Chicago to go and look after his children in Oregon. Jesse Spencer was in the first 200 episodes of the show when he left, and he will surely leave a big void in the series. But we do understand. Jesse had been working in television for so many years, most recently in Chicago Fire, and before that in House, and probably needed a break really badly. He wants to spend more time with his family and rest up, but he will definitely be missed on the show. At least they didn't kill Casey, and he's still part of the series thanks to his long-distance relationship with Brett. Hopefully, he can rejoin the series at some point down the line. Who's still in? We were a little worried when Bowden took the new position at CFD that Eamon Walker would leave the show behind completely. But Bowden is still a big part of the Firehouse and the series too. The rest of the main cast remains the same, but there are a few new faces. Hanako Greensmith has played paramedic Violet Mikami for a while, but she has become a series regular. Caitlin Carver will soon join the cast, plus Jimmy Nichols, Brett Dalton, Cameron Scott Roberts, and finally, Jack Conley will all make appearances this season. Things are definitely changing at Firehouse 51, and we can only hope those changes are good. Which character from One Chicago is your favorite? Which departure hurt the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.